So obviously, first match, we're going to be looking at Forest of Niflhel. So opening up the map, take a look at our splits. We're going to be seeing on the blue team 3 members coming out of the front gate, 2 members coming out of the side gate. So we do have a 2-man cross coming up from the blue team and a 1-man cross coming up from the red team, with Fakers AFK deciding to pull back through, coming up the beach to support the midpoint. And it looks like both teams are going to be able to secure their home nodes without too much trouble. And then we're going to be seeing a 2v3 happening over up on the mine point, and it looks like they did get there just in time to stop that cap from happening. So let's see what's happening over there.
Painful there. Just was on Ventari there. He was in a bit of trouble, but he had that golem up there to just pull up to, launched himself up there, but the elementalist Dante was not aware that that Ventari just ported up there, so was able to free cast Signet of Spike completely, not getting a dodge off, and he just finished him off. Zeon now as well going down on that advance, which has just failed from the blue team. Gonna take him down pretty easily now. BOON.read putting that block off from the Focus 5. Sensitix advancing over towards the henge point. I think he's just got past the engineer of the blue team, so he's going to be able to bypass him, potentially get that decap over at henge, and maybe he'll be pulling out at that point and moving back to mid. But mid, Cranox going down fast. He's on 50% HP on down state. He's going to go down fast. He's dead. He's out of this fight. Monk is currently on his own versus 3 players from the red team. Blue going down all over the shop at the moment, struggling a little tiny bit here. Sensitix did get the decap over at henge as well. Tatum is just going to try and get that cap back as soon as possible. Warrior on the blue team currently going 1 versus 1 on Sensitix.
Yeah, exactly. We have just seen this fight wrapping up on the midpoint, so we are going to be seeing that going in favor of the red team, which is going to be BOON in this case. We're going to be seeing them take away that 2-cap for the time being, and we're going to be seeing them coming across right now. We're going to be seeing a big team fight happening probably over on the mine point, which is currently also in favor of Team BOON. So I'd like to see what Aos Army is going to be doing to try and get this, to try and turn this game around from the 2-cap that's currently happening against them.
Yeah, Cranox is in a bit of a bad position over at mine at the moment because BOON have been able to pull back completely. Four guys now over on the mine point, very strong. But look, Aos Army knowing that they need to retreat back to the midpoint maybe to keep this into a team fight indeed, seeing if they can actually switch it around. But look at that distraction tactic again. The more unknown kind of teams coming in here, putting on those distraction tactics to try and bring players back into the map. But look, BOON Emperor is in the wrong position. He needs to be in that mid fight. Look, I'm not sure whether or not blue team have done this on purpose to keep him out, but Cranox just going down over at the midpoint. If blue was able to regroup on that midpoint, that would have been nice. But look, Tatum's had to go back and recap. Oh, Sensitix is being a royal little pain in the butt. Look at that. He's doing those decaps twice now.
And it's very smart of them. He's pulling in at just the right time, getting that decap, and then just pulling away straight away, not wanting to get caught up in a 2v1 or even a 1v1 because he might not necessarily win that. He's just getting that, making sure that his team gets a little bit more of that cap ahead, and then he's just going to duck back out to support the team fights because he does put out a bunch of damage. So now we're going to be seeing him jump back over onto that mine fight and see what's happening here.
They're just not putting enough pressure on Ventari, mate. He's hardly ever on low HP. He's free casting off the side of the map. Then he's getting in with that chill on the Death Shroud. He's able to then get in and do some significant AoE damage on the point just at his feet. He's able to just free cast almost. He's not getting any focus on him. He's the man in these fights. They need to really be focusing along with the Ellie as well, but I'd always pick the Necro first. And there is no focus, you know, and now the Ellie is able to just jump on top. Blue not even aware that he's up there. He's just going to be able to free cast that fire attunement away, and they're going to win this fight over at mine. And again, Sensitix, third time decapping the close point. That is a pet peeve of mine. Just not looking at your back point as well, just constantly as well getting that decap. At least Tatum got the decap at mid, but look, caught off point, bursted down by Sensitix, putting down that blind as well, getting the guaranteed down, and now you watch, he's just going to nip back over to henge as well. He's going to jump past the monk, and he's just going to decap it. It's just going to happen again and again.
He was going to do that, but then it's worth noting that Dante also came into that mid-fight when Fake's AFK is incredibly low. I didn't think Sensitix was going to come back in time, but he did manage to get there. Yeah. Just bursting Dante down in just a couple of seconds. Monk2Hunk is going to be coming in here, trying to stop this down from happening, but whether or not he can do that is yet to be seen. We're going to see Dante getting spiked just here, and now Monk2Hunk is 2v1ing against Sensitix AFK. And now Moltres coming in here as well, not going to be beneficial for him, obviously. A 3v1 with this kind of a team matchup is not going to be fun. Any 3v1 is not going to be fun, and so we are probably going to be seeing this going in favor of the red team in just a couple of seconds here.
Feeling the frustration of blue at the moment as they are being double the amount of points that red, Boon really want to get this game's over and done with. They just want this cup under their belts because the last match really seemed to have taken it out of them. But look, it was a great warm-up for them. Blue doing a good job at regrouping quite quickly as well, as they're going to try and push back out onto this map fast. Ventari was pushing just a little tiny bit over towards the henge point, just looking at mid as the Ellie is just there. He's going to be coming up against Artatum 1v1 on that point as well. As we see around the beach area, blue starting to advance slowly towards the mine as they're trying to get that point. But look, guess what? Sensitix again over towards the henge. He's actually even going to think about getting a full cap. Will Boon get the free cap and be strong? They've actually got their boss down as well. They're pulling all the stops out. They're saying we're going to 2 games only. We've had enough. We're going to rinse the hell out of the ESL Cup and we're going to be the winners of the weekly Cup 30. But blue can still come into this game if they can try to.
I think that was a really smart move of Sensitix over there. He definitely noticed that everyone was tied up. He noticed that beach movement happening all the way across, making it very easy for him to get that decap. And he said, hey, I'm going to stick around and get this because no one's on their way. I can't see anyone. And I'm comfortable that Moltres can handle a 1v1 over at the mid fight. So he decided to go ahead and get that, and he's allowing them to pull ahead right now. We can see if this 3 cap holds on for any more than a couple more seconds, there is no chance of Aos Army coming back. And even then, I think that Aos Army is already kind of thinking, hell, let's start thinking about what we're going to change up for game 2 here, because what they've done now, something isn't quite working about it. Everything they've tried to do has just been shut down by Team Boon, and obviously, I mean, they're both very skilled teams, but Boon is doing something a little bit different, and whatever it is, it's working for them at this point in time.
They're just kicking some serious ass, man. Pretty much. Yeah. I mean, Sensitix is just on it. Look, he's on it all the time. I don't even want to count how many times that he's decapped henge. It's just such a big mistake from blue. They needed to be on it. They need to be solid in their back capping. They need to be quite defensive as well because the offensive is just not working for them. And they haven't changed up their tactic for almost the entire game. They went to mid a couple of times. But one person, there you go, Dante, now heading towards the midpoint. He's going to be able to get that decap and that recap. But it's way too late. 485 now. And I don't think he's even going to get the cap because Sensitix is just too quick and aware that he's actually on the midpoint. This is almost a different Boon that we saw from the last game, but I just don't think that Aos Army are giving them the same challenge that Exaltation gave them. Maybe, hopefully, they can pull it back in the second game and give us a bit more of a view in here, but unfortunately, it is going to go. It's not unfortunate because Boon, of course, very deserving of this game. Sensitix going down in the mid there. Maybe Blue just started to get into this game just as they hit 500.
Just like that. Blue team takes a capture.
Yeah, definitely. It was unfortunate for Aos Army because of how well they performed in their semi-final. But then also Boon, when they pull out this kind of a game, you can't feel bad about it. They were just working so well together. Sensitix and obviously everyone else had impeccable map awareness, just making sure nothing got past them, going for the decaps at the right time. It was just really, really smooth gameplay on Boon's part, and I think that they definitely deserved a win, and they're going to want to push this ahead and keep this going in game 2 on Legacy of the Fofire.
We'll see them come back into this. It's a shame to see the way it's been going against Aos Army. It doesn't really complement how well the other games went as before the final, because the 2 semi-final games were so awesome, so close as well, and we almost came up to an upset as well. Boon almost went out in that last game that they had in the semi-final as well. So we've actually had some really good games tonight, and Aos Army as well did so well in their first game in the semi-final as well. So it's good to see these teams coming out to support, guys. We did have, literally, we would have had an over subscription for this, but so many new teams coming in, they're not sure exactly. I think they got a little bit of confusion about signing up, how to get into the game. So we'll make sure that those teams know exactly how to do that. And next week, I'm pretty sure we're going to have a full cup. But in the meantime, we did have 4 teams signing up really at the last moment, guys. So really, if you've got a team that you want to get into this tournament, make sure that you're signing in on time. You can sign up before the time of the actual end time to sign up at the actual cup itself. yourself. You can sign in a week before. When the page is up, you can sign in and you can actually sign up for that cup. So make sure you're sticking to the ESL page for Guild Wars 2, making sure that you obviously having a look at the different tournaments they're running, such as the 3v3, which has happened, and also the 2v2s, 1v1s, whatever tournament the ESL are coming up with, because I'm sure it's going to be very busy in the near future. Also the same with Misspedia. Stick onto Blue's channel, he'll be able to tell you about that in the near future as he comes back out of his exams. So we're ready to go. I'm not sure what you think. Are they going to be able to come into this game and potentially win?
I think that they can come back and still win this one, take us to a game 3, which would be exciting. But I think they need to change something up in terms of their rotations. Too often, as you saw and often pointed out, Sensitix was just going ahead, capping their home point, or at least getting the decap on it, because they just weren't there to support it. And this is going to be especially important on a map like Legacy of the Foefire. Obviously, it's going to be the biggest map in the game. They need to make sure they've got someone sitting on a ledge or sitting on their home point, making sure that they keep that cap. They definitely don't want to leave this up to chance.
Indeed. That back cap, if Sensitix can get over there again and just, you know, rinse that back capping once again, then I'm just going to get sad. But we're going to go into this, potentially maybe the last split. I'm going to go over these splits as we're coming out into this maybe the last game of the Week 30 Cup. And we're going to have a look at this split coming out from Blue. Looks like they're going to potentially send 2 over to their close point. Maybe potentially 2 over to the far. Maybe dueling 1 versus 1 mid. Guardian. Also Ventari is going to be a good guy to come into the mid versus Cranox. Not sure that was the best choice from them. Cranox not really the... he's already used his Focus 5 as well, which is not sure is the best option for them to do. But we'll see how well he does. And we do see Art Tatum again, 1v1. Probably a nice little matchup over here. He's going to be able to maybe get the LE off the point and potentially get a cap if possible. Going to switch back over to the waterfall. It is the Monk and Dante versus Sensitix, and Fake is AFK. So there is going to be a lot of healing, and oh god, Monk's actually being taken down quite low there. He is, he's going to be able to get off the Empower there and probably put down that swiftness to try and get some extra healing on top of himself, which is indeed what he will do. He's got a ton of boons coming in, going to pop off the Focus 5 to give himself some blocking, but he's really getting focused. There's hardly any damage coming onto Dante. Monk is really the focus of the DPS at the moment. Sensitix backing out on low HP. He's going to come back in soon, so they need to be aware of where he is. Maybe putting up that star 5 as possible. Oh, it's not going to burst him down. Almost. Getting that Empower off. No interrupt on that. He's back to full HP, and this point is going to be contested for a while.
It looks like all 3 points are going to be contested for quite a while. We are still seeing the 1v1 happening over on the quarry point, with that point being 1 tick towards Moltres, but obviously that's not going to be doing anything for anyone at this point in time. It's going to be a relatively stalemated fight right now. I think the majority of what's happening right now is going to be happening over on the mid fight, which is about halfway towards being capped in favor of the red team, and Cranox is just about to get DPS down from the downstate. He's going down right now, owning the first 5 points in the game, not even from a point cap, but just from being a down. So we're going to be seeing a 2v3 happening right now in favor of Team Boon, with Ventari sitting up on the ledge, which is going to be beneficial for their team. Obviously, going to be able to put down those marks and just do a bunch of damage without taking too much of his own.
Yeah, I was just as you were talking about that as well, I was having a quick look over at Quarry. It looks like Art Tatum is actually going to go down there as well, unfortunately. Just making a cut. He did a really good job pushing him off point as well. Just, I think, using his heal and stuff at a point where he didn't really need to, because he could have regen just naturally, as it was kind of just disengaged for a couple of seconds as he knocked him off the point. Ventari now going down at mid. That SR coming out from Sensitix, able to get the res. Ventari is able to get that heal off as well. Just needs to make sure that that focus isn't on him. And as he was indeed in that stealth, he was able to get that heal off, then rotate off point and able to put a ton of DPS damage down, which will cause then Xeon indeed to go down on point mid. It's not looking for good. It's not looking too good for Blue at all on the mid point. They're trying to keep it contested at the very least. Not going to get a cap there anytime soon. Monk in the wrong place, in my opinion. He's versus Fake is AFK. Needs to try and rotate out as soon as possible, possibly from the Blue Warrior. He's going to come in to help him, but Cranox down mid. Dante, the only one currently on this point, versus 3 of Boon.
Exactly, so that's going to be going in favor probably, or possibly, of Boon for the time being. And also Fake is AFK holding a very strong lead in the 1v1 here against Mokdahong, going ahead, getting that free spike right now with the stability. So he's going to be able to get that extra 5 points for the team, putting it up to 61 points, 2-0 for the time being. And we're going to be seeing a 1v1 happening with Fake is AFK and Xeon has WAG over on the waterfall node. As we see the 2-cap coming out from Team Boon here, they're going to be showing a very dominant lead here at the start.
Yeah, they really are dominating this game at the moment, and Aos need to really do something completely out of left field to actually come back into this, in my opinion. Gonna call it now that it's probably gonna be Boon, but we don't want to see that happen for these guys. We want to see them come back into this game, and I think they could. They just need to think about where they're placing their players. Monk not in the correct position, in my opinion whatsoever. The Guardian on the team of Boon in the correct position in those team fights. He's now in the correct position just because the team fights come to the point of waterfall, and everyone from Boon is here, and no points coming in for Blue. 130 points just ticked over for Boon. Can Blue come back? We really want them to. Maybe they can come from behind. Mid looks like it's possibly going to be taken by Art Tatum, but he's being 1v1 versus Sensitix. This isn't going to be the best situation for him to go against, player to go against. Look at the rotation. Fake's coming back to assist even Sensitix as well, so they're going to get him down quite quickly. No support coming in from Art Tatum, and also Quarry, Dante, 1 versus 1. This is going to be an interesting fight as well. Might try and stick with this just for a little bit of time.
Yeah, exactly. I think this 1v1 is going to be, or both of these fights are going to be interesting. Both the points that are being held currently by Team Boon, they're holding them relatively comfortably right now. Although it looks like Dante might be able to get a decap on Moltres. He's about one tick away, so he just needs one knockback and he might be able to get this decap. We're going to see what happens here. But it also looks like we're going to be seeing Faker's AFK winning this fight over here against Arctatum and holding this point for the time being. I think it's very, very smart what Team Boon's doing right now. They're putting probably their tankiest members, being Boon Empire, and then also Ventari when he was in Plague form, obviously very survivable. Putting them on this waterfall node so that they could, keep this neutralized for as long as possible. And now they're just getting that free spike on Mokdahong, and so they're going to be able to be probably winning this fight over here as well, as the Quarry gets neutralized in this 1v1 Ellie fight, which is probably going to be stale at least for quite a while. They're Ellies and they're both running staff. That's going to be fun.
They're preferring exactly the same build. Oh my god, literally. Look at the bloody birds fighting it out. Oh my good grief. Is he really running the same routes? Oh yes,
Parrot's OP.
Yes, Parrot versus Parrot in this exciting 1 versus 1. But look, it's just this is the way it's going for Chaos. They're really not Aos, sorry. They're not supporting each other too well. Art Tatum is there now, but could have done with, Dante could have done with support a lot earlier in the game. Chronic's now coming in as well to try and get this point. But it really is too late for Blue at the moment, unless there's something massively changes at the moment. Xeon is 1 versus 1 on the waterfall at the moment versus Ventari. But Ventari's going to get the cap, obviously, because Xeon's currently in Vengeance, which is what I didn't notice. So 2-1 cap. 2-0 cap coming out now. Boon really coming out strong now.
Yeah, Boon definitely coming ahead right now. I mean, we obviously don't want to call it right now, but it's looking like Boon's probably going to be taking this one for themselves. 275-0 right now, doing a very good job. That goes to show that not even a single spike has come out from members of the blue team right now. So that's obviously that's just showing the team support and just how well Boon Empire and the rest of Boon are actually just supporting each other. And we possibly could even see a 3-cap coming out over here, depending on what happens. But I'd like to see something happening. I'd like to see Team Aos Army just coming ahead and pulling something out.
Yeah, it would be really, really nice to see at the moment. Hopefully they can maybe just come back into a team fight. Now maybe we can talk about how they could have actually just improved. Maybe it could be a team comp thing that they could think about in the future. Now they are taking out the Ellie quite well over here, and they're not doing too badly in this team fight. They seem to have got the right focus up now as well. But the Ventari has very much been in a lot of the fights. Okay, he's not in the team fight at the moment, so they're probably focusing the right person. So the focus target is the right target at the moment, but he is back into the fight. There seems to be a real problem with some DPS We've got a lot of focus, maybe just keeping the damage down on that target, keeping the cleave damage down. But the rezzing is really fast and really good from BOON. You know, you can't take anything away from them whatsoever because they're playing the map really well. The splits are perfect. You know, look at Xeon. He's off point. Ventari is able to cap that point without downing him, and he's put him in that position. He knew that he was going to put him in that position. That's the experience that BOON have. And slowly but surely, Blue are actually getting a kill, getting 5 points on the map now, and almost getting the cap for a quarry just about.
Yeah, so at this point in time, obviously, BOON isn't too worried about keeping pressure over 3 nodes, which is why they're still doing it. But at the same time, if they really want to just secure this win, which they've pretty much got in the bag anyway, they could just pull off and secure their 2 nodes, just bunker them down because obviously a very survivable team comp, and they're going to be able to win this one relatively easily.
Yeah,
it's going to be a big fight.
Come on, big fight over a quarry. Let's let them. Oh, they've got the first cap now coming into the game. Nothing is going to let them come back. I don't think mathematically it's possible either. So it's probably, you know, unless there's a big bug in the game, something is going to happen. But I really, you know, I think their split was okay at the start, but, you know, they died in different positions. The matchups weren't that good between the 2v2s that they had. They weren't the correct matchups to have. It could be maybe a bit of player skill as well, maybe just experience, the team, the amount of time they've played together. Because I'm not seeing, I mean, it's couple of players from Aos Charmy, I guess, as well, and some other players. So it's basically it's a new kind of team that are playing, maybe like a bit fairly pug team just trying out for a first time together. But you know, there's some potential there. We saw it in the last game. They did quite well on different points of the map. It's just literally coming up against these top teams, and they're in the final of the ESL Cup at the end of the day, so they're going to be coming out of this with something. So they, you know, it's not too bad. They've come second in this cup.
Yeah, definitely a good effort. This is going to be a learning experience for them, definitely. And without a doubt, I mean, this might go ahead and disappoint them a bit, possibly just lower their morale a little bit. But definitely, if any of them decide to watch this VOD after, stick around in the ESL. Like, there's definitely a bunch of potential here. A very strong team. We've seen some strong matchups today from everyone involved. So it's been a very, very good cup, and we're just going to be seeing them tick away here in just a second. 96, 98, and 500. So we have our winners.
GW2 BOON coming out now, just finishing with the Alarma finisher there, as you see. Doing quite well there. Gonna come back to the cams just 2 seconds, guys. So we have seen BOON come very strong into this, in the final especially. Jesus. Just absolutely, really destroying Aos Charmy, if I can't really say it another way. They did. But at the same time, we talked about experience and players and potential, you said as well, which is very, very true. And we hope that teams, just because they have to remember and realise that they were against, you know, one of the top 3 teams in the EU, for God's sake. I mean, BOON as well could, you know, against 55 HP monks have won and have done well. So, you know, the top 2, I mean, you can't knock it. I mean, they're going against a really good team. You know, what else can they do? They can just try their best, learn, watch the VOD back, like you said, especially, learn from their mistakes, just see what we've pointed out to try and help them. And seriously, thank you very much for coming in, guys. Like, literally, all these teams have just worked their asses off and given us a great cup as well. So thank you very much, Ellipsis. Good job, man. Very good.
Thank you.
Nice, as ever. Oh, how do you feel about the cup? How did it go for you?
It was a good cup. I really enjoyed it. We didn't have too many teams, but obviously both of the semis we saw were excellent semis. We saw the game mechanics being used. Yay.
Yes.
We always like the game mechanics being used.
They were very well used as well with a couple of teams. Oh my god, I'm so rubbish with names. In the last round that we saw, it was Elevation...
Exaltation.
Elevation. Oh, I like that as a team name. Nobody steal that. That's mine. Trademark, Jebro. Team Exaltation. Now that is a team. That is a team we're going to see.
Yeah.
Come back.
Without a doubt.
Come back. Everyone come back. But that was... Oh, blinding round. So guys, when this finishes, go and check out the broadcast, because if you were disappointed by the last game, and that's Boon, just they wanted to get finished for another couple of reasons, which kind of spurred them on. But just go back, watch the VODs, because this cup was an awesome cup, and we thank all the teams for coming along. Actually going to end it pretty much now as well, guys. So thank you, Ellipsis, for casting with me today.
No worries, anytime.
And make sure you check him out. Twitter is at ellipsisplaying, and also youtube.com/ellipsisplaying as well, which is, you can kind of see that on the stream underneath him. I'm Jebro, and you can join me at JebDan on Twitter, and also youtube.com/UnityJebro, and also twitch.tv/JebroUnity, which is the other way round. Don't ask me why. And this has been the Weekly Cup. Is there anything you want to say, Ellipsis, before we go?
I just want to say it was a great cup to be on, and everyone, if you're in the chat, thank you for being here as well. The reason we do these cups is so that you guys can watch and have fun, and I hope you did that. And also, if you're a Guild Wars 2 player, then you get a team together and sign up. We always need more people to sign up for these cups. It's great.
Indeed, guys. Thank you very much, and we will see you next week. Here's our Weekly Cup.